Marv by not recording this. So
That's correct. Yes. I promised him it would be recorded. Okay, so today we're going to learn about ONET Online. The great thing about this very robust tool is that it's really the best thing you can do is just get on there and just start playing for your, with the program. And what I'm going to do, and this is kind of where my expertise comes in. I own Burning River Marketing. I do search engine optimization, read Google Analytics, create blog posts. I'm navigating probably around 20 websites daily. And as you know, if you're a technology user, technology is constantly changing. So because I'm using so much of it, I am always having to kind of play around, click here, click there. And I think that's what makes it, it kind of gives me the expertise to teach you guys ONET. So there you go. So first we're going to talk about what ONET, what it is. It stands for Occupational Information Network. So that's the ONET. It's a free online database. It's sponsored by the US government. It basically replaces the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, the DOT, if you're familiar with that. The ONET program is the nation's primary source of occupational information. So if you are using this for job seeker help, you're probably, I would say it gives you a bit of an advantage, and we'll kind of show you why and how. It's updated by surveying a broad range of workers from each occupation. So every year they pick 200 occupations and they survey people that have that occupation. And so we'll see the tasks that are involved. We'll see the salary. So ONET Online is basically the web application for exploring all this information that the government has collected about occupations in our country. But what ONET does not do, I just kind of want to level set some expectations. It's not going to provide this robust real-time job postings better than, say, Indeed or LinkedIn or ZipRecruiter, although some of that is actually in ONET. You're not going to get that. That wouldn't be your primary source to go for job postings. It's also not going to connect you with people. It's not going to help you to build a network or provide you with alerts or updates. So again, ONET Online is a comprehensive web application for exploring the ONET database. And this is what it can do for you as a job seeker. It's going to help you browse occupations. So if you're somebody who maybe doesn't know exactly what you want to do, it's hard to just go through job postings to figure out what you want to do. This way, you can actually browse for occupations. You won't be limited to job postings. It's going to show you occupations on the rise. So that's it shows you basically occupations that are growing, and they're called the Bright Outlook. So we'll go over that. And it provides you actual salary data by region. Also, there's a lot of job descriptions, tasks, and details in each occupation as it's listed. So that can provide you with inspiration for the verbiage you might use on your resume, on your cover letters, in your marketing plans. And it can give you some ideas based on tasks you enjoy or skills you want to use in your next job. So I'm going to teach you how to search that way. I don't even think Michael has seen how to do that. So that's something I was just playing with the other day. It also provides you with limitless rabbit holes. So if you just love to go down rabbit holes all day, this is the website for you. Most of you know that's kind of a joke, but it kind of isn't. So just get you like ONET is not something you can just go in, get out, and get what you want. It is really more of it's more of a browsing type of scenario. So this is what it looks like. What I'm going to do real quick is go through about 6 slides and show you exactly how we're going to format the presentation. And then I'm going to get off the slideshow and just go right into the tool. But first I want to give you kind of a feeling for what to expect and what we're to expect it in. So this is a screenshot of where we're going to start. And then we're going to go over here to find your next move. Okay, and then from find your next move, it's going to look like this. And you can see that they organize it by keywords, industry, and discover your interests. We're going to explore each one of those columns. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to have sort of like 3 case studies. We're going to have Ricky. He has a couple of job titles or keywords in mind, like content marketing or supply chain. So we're going to go through as if we're Ricky. Then we're going to go through as if we're Barbara. Barbara is really, she just has a general idea of 1 or 2 industries. like education or media and communications. The way Barbara is going to search is really time intense. So, you know, we'll show you how to do it, but it's not recommended. And then Anna is open to ideas. Anna's not sure what she wants to be when she grows up. And maybe she thinks this whole job loss could be a sign that she's meant for something different. So Anna has a whole different way to use ONET online. So we're going to go over all three of those. So first, we're going to start with Ricky. With Ricky, we're doing a keyword search. And then in this keyword search, I'm going to show you guys a link called Also Called. This is going to give you other names to search. A lot of people that come to Hudson Job Search, they might have been like a quality manager engineer, and they're not sure what that is called everywhere else. So this is going to help you if you're in that situation where you're looking for job titles that your past job might be referred to at another place. Also, we're going to look at Job Outlook when we do the keyword search. That's going to give us some local salary information, and that's where they'll pull in some information from Indeed, and I think ZipRecruiter and a couple of others. And then I'm going to show you the see more details. That's where it just opens up a ton of information about the occupation that ONET has it listed as, each task, you know, the skills, the soft skills. So that might take us a while, but I love the information in there. So this, if you're Ricky, you are going to go into this green column because you're going to search careers with keywords. So that's what we're going to do with Ricky. Then we're going to do the same thing with Barbara, but Barbara's going to do something different. She's just browsing. So she's going into this middle column. She's browsing careers by industry. Now, if you know specifically what you want to do, don't ever go in here. It's really a waste of time. But if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you can pretty much see the entire database, you know, position by position, occupation by occupation. I don't recommend it, but it is useful for some people that really are just browsing and they're not sure what they want to do. And if you're Anna, things get really fun because you just don't know what you want to do. So you're going to do the interest profiler. And that's this purple column over here where it says discover your interest. You take a quiz. It's about 60 questions. It asks you things like, would you like to make cabinets, or would you rather find a cure to a disease? What are some other questions? I just took it today, actually. And so they give you these like 60 questions, right? And then you get scored on these 6 different areas. You're realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising. Our piano magician over there, like the amazing piano man, he's probably has a lot more than 8 when it comes to artistic. It asked me frequently if I wanted to play music, if I wanted to do music, if I wanted to do things in play, and I just was always no, no, no. So so the jobs that it came up with for me, as you can see, it wants me to be an architectural and engineering manager, a farm and home management educator, a natural sciences manager. That one has a sunshine on it because that's a bright outlook, meaning it is a position that is growing, on the rise. So what I can do if I'm Anna or Anna and I've gotten these scores, I basically, up here, there's like a job zone, and it asks you, number 1 is like an entry-level position. It tells me that I can start based on my interest. I would really like to be like an agricultural equipment operator, and that doesn't really require a lot of experience. So I can just get to doing that right now. If I want to hit 2, then that's a little bit more experience, 3, 4, 5. So when I hit 5, these are some of the positions that come up. And I can just click on these links and learn more about those jobs. And if I hit 4, then you'll see I could be an emergency management director, a farmer, rancher, other agriculture manager, range manager, biofuels production manager. So this is kind of fun. Again, rabbit holes for days, but you can learn all about these different jobs, what tasks are involved, what interests you would want to have in order to take these jobs, how much training is necessary, how much they pay, and where there are some job postings in the area. Okay, so that's how we're going to do this. And then if we have any veterans on the call, or if you know of any veterans that are in transition, there is in this tool, basically it's just like if you had a job with the military, and you want to do the same thing you were doing for the military, but you're not sure what civilians call it or how that would translate, you just put in the branch of the military, the name of the job, and then it will tell you basically what type of jobs would work for that experience. Okay, so this is a blank screen because now we're diving in. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? You can just yell them out. Otherwise, I'm going in. Okay. All right, here we are. Michael, you see it, right? It's my next move. I'm on there already.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so perfect. I should start actually at onnetonline.org so I can show you how to get to my next move. And this is why I know I did hear a lot of people say, you know, they have had trouble in the past kind of navigating through ONET Online. I mean, if you think about exactly what it's the government collecting all this data and then trying to put it in a way that we can access it. So it shouldn't be that surprising that it's kind of a mess. I'm not saying that anything against the government, but just I could see that it would be very difficult to do for anybody. So this is what it's going to look like on the homepage, ONET Online. And there's a lot of different ways that you can, you know, get to where you want. But what I've been showing you in the last few slides is to go here, find your career at my next move. Okay. There's like 10 different ways to get to the same spot throughout these websites. But now you'll notice that what's happened is this URL we're on mynextmove.org. So if you want, you can just bookmark this and go directly to mynextmove.org, and you don't really even need to log in at ONET Online. So here you go. If we, I wanted to do Ricky first. So he is the one that knows what he wants to do. So we're going to use a search career with a keyword. So a good keyword for me, I do search engine optimization. So I'm just going to do SEO. That's what we call it. And I'm going to hit enter. Perfect. So what it tells me when I search for SEO is search marketing strategists, which is pretty much when you're talking about search engine optimization, that would be a job title. Also writers and authors, judicial law clerks, which is interesting. So when I click on search marketing strategists, oh, I should have told you, it's this little bright outlook. That means that it's a position that is on the rise. So year after year, there's more and more search marketing strategist positions that are being reported to the government. So that's usually a good thing to look for. Search marketing strategist. When I open that up, I kind of ignore this little word bubble, but you know, it is helping to drive the searches. And I go right to what they do. So it's also called, I said I would talk about that. So right up here, it's also called. So let's say I was an SEO strategist somewhere and I'm like, well, geez, what else are they called? Well, I should also be looking for jobs that are called digital marketing strategist, digital media planner, internet marketing specialist, and so on and so forth. So you really want to look at that also called. That will be a huge help in your job search. So if you're looking for a job that's similar to the one that you just had, definitely find positions and go to this also called so that you can have an awesome list to feed your job search. So there's that. And then this tells you what they do, and this tells you what they would do on the job. So this is also where you can get some inspiration for your resumes or for your marketing plan or whatever it is that you're writing. We've also had a lot of presentations about using ChatGPT. So you can use some of these words, you pair it with some of the presentations we've given on using ChatGPT and come up with something that's, you know, really unique and effective for your resume and for your cover letters. So these are the abilities that you should have and the skills that would be required, the knowledge. Personality, basically none. You need to have no personality to be in SEO. That is why I'm really good at it. And it tells you your job outlook is bright. New job opportunities are very likely in the future. And the salary in the middle range is 68,000. I can click here for check out my state or local salary info. I live in North Olmsted, so I'm just going to keep that at 44070. That is the zip code here. If anybody wants to send me Christmas cards. So it has on the high end, and because I run my own business doing it, if I were to enter the job market, I would probably be expecting something on the high end. But if I was expecting to make $250,000 a year, and the highest that, you know, it's really topping out at is at like 121 and 131, I'll probably just keep my business running. However, you know, if this is a good range for me, then I want to pursue, right? So this tells you, this is based on real data, unlike, you know, Glassdoor and some of the other things like these. This is real local data based on your experience. You should be able to ask for something in the range and expect something in this range. And on your interview, Michael is much better about coaching how you have this conversation. But I know a lot of our meetings, people say, well, when someone asks me, what's the salary range? What do I do? Well, if you have this information, you can actually say, well, based on my research, this pays in this area, you know, this range. So I'm expecting XYZ. And I don't think it's unreasonable. So, and you would know for sure that it isn't unreasonable if it's in this range. Any questions on that? Because I know that's usually something people really like about ONET Online. And Michael, did you want to add something? Because I know you often do.
I do, yes. Yeah, and Kim's right. That's a great tool to give you your kind of your range. But what I always like to encourage people, if you ever are asked what your salary requirements are, before you respond with that, ask what the range of the position is. And that way you don't have to declare your, you don't have to declare your interest. If it's within your, if they give you a range, and let's say it's it's 100 to 150, well, clearly, you say, well, yeah, I think we're in the ballpark. But but if they persist and they want to ask you, they want you specifically to identify what your range is, and they don't want to tell you what the salary range of the job is, then, as Kim mentioned, this is a great tool to kind of help you make sure that you're pricing yourself in a competitive way.
You can also decide where you might want to move. I mean, I know I do have this skill set, but it looks like I'm surprised that it's about the same. How about California? You expect they would get paid more.
Yes.
Not by much. Okay. So again, rabbit holes. This is just, I'm really good at going down all of those. So I'll go back to my next move, and we'll do something different from SEO. I know we have someone that does procurement. I don't know what that means, but supply chain managers, purchasing managers, logistics engineers, logistics analysts. So you just kind of put in a keyword and go through what the jobs are. Like I said, this is not like, you're not just going to find exactly what you're looking for, get it and get out. You want to kind of give yourself the time to go through this. This video will tell you, if you're more exploring what these different jobs are, you play this video and it tells you what a supply chain manager does based on real data from people that have these jobs. And so that's what's really different. It's also called all these things: global supply chain director, solutions design and analysis manager. Never would have thought of that. So, if you are somebody looking for some of these positions, feel free. You should probably be plugging in those things and looking to see the jobs on LinkedIn and other places where you're searching. The other thing I wanted to show you that comes up in this, it's kind of like, it's the profile of the job. You'll notice it says up here in the URL or the domain 11-3071.04. So that's like their job code. You'll notice down at the bottom, it says see more details at ONET Online. I click that. This is a serious rabbit hole. I mean, I could probably spend a day in here. So this tells you everything about this job, 11-3071.04. It tells you all the tasks. So this is 5 out of the 30 tasks that are expected in that occupation. These are the technology and the skills, the work activities. And so what I also really enjoyed about this is that, let's say you do a little bit of this, but there's a lot of stuff about the supply chain manager that you don't like, that's not really what you're looking for. But you really like determining appropriate equipment and staffing levels to load, unload, move, or store materials. Will you click on this little plus next to it? And you'll see more occupations related to that specific tasks. So if that's just the one thing that you liked about your job, I know we get people sometimes that say, well, they used to be teachers, but they don't want to be in education anymore. But I bet that there's a lot of things that they really liked about their teaching position. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it for the past 25 years. So you can go to a job description of something that you did like, you know, and pick on the task and then hit that plus button and find other jobs that, you know, those that occupations that would use those tasks. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. And then same thing with technology skills. So, you know, I mentioned, I think in the write-up or maybe in one of the screens leading up to this, that if you have skills, let's say you really love using ERP software, you can hit the plus here and see all the jobs where you would be expected to use enterprise resource planning software. There's 378. So apparently that is a very popular software. That's about, there's one here that's like email. And if you hit on email, it's all the jobs you're required to use electronic mail. So work activities, same thing. So all of these have pluses because you can find the jobs that also have those tasks or those activities, those skills, your electronic mail. If you want to see, there's all of the jobs basically that you would be required to use electronic mail. So kind of interesting. All right, so that is if we were Ricky. Oh, we got to ONET Online. So now I got to get back to my next move. So we were Ricky. We kind of knew a little bit about keywords. So we did SEO and we did supply chain. So, or actually, I think we started out with procurement, but then we got to supply chain. So play around in here. Definitely write down, or, you know, go back to the recording, the part where it says also called. And then when you get to the ONET job description that has all the tasks and things, I would definitely use that to kind of play around based on the tasks that you like to find other jobs that might use those tasks. So now Barbara, we talked about how Barbara, she just knows kind of like an industry. And this is the difference between, well, it's Christmas time, right? So people are probably shopping. I am not someone that can just go to a retail store and just walk around aimlessly and try to figure out what somebody wants for Christmas. I need to have an idea before I even get started, but that's just me. So if you just like to browse, this is perfect. You browse all day in here. Like, let's say, you know, you have a background in, we'll do education. Here you go. It's starts with A and goes all the way to tutoring. And that's just most people in these careers work in education. So what that means is that somebody in agricultural science teachers, they say they're in the education industry. Someone that does art, drama, and music teacher, they say they're in the education industry. So that's why it's showing up in this industry. Bus drivers say they're in the education industry. So let's say you're our music teacher. Well, also called art professor, music professor, professor, theater professor. If we went down here to see more details at ONET Online, and we found out that, you know, I don't really want to be a music teacher anymore, you know, but I do really like thinking creatively or communicating with or coaching and developing others. I can go here, find all these other jobs, probably look for one that has a bright outlook, maybe training and development managers or medical and health services managers, and kind of poke around there, you know, see what they pay, see what they do, and then look to see if there's any jobs around here that are hiring. Kent State, Cleveland State, actually University, Business Administration, Management General. So So these are some, that's kind of how you use ONET. We'll go back. And so if you're just browsing, this is some people in these careers work in education. It's literally just it's gonna list all of the different things. Now, this little, where do they work? I was playing around with this earlier today, and it just says that they work in government, professional science and technical, health and counseling, education. So this is basically just telling you what different industries these people could work in. So that one was administrative services managers. I don't find that to be that helpful. There could, I guess, be a good use for that, but it just doesn't, I'm not seeing it now. So that is if you're Barbara and you are just going to be browsing by industry. But everything still applies. You know, you're still getting a link to the job description where you can do all those other things that we went over in the first scenario. If you were Ricky and you knew you wanted to do SEO or something in procurement or supply chain. So any questions on those two avenues so far? Because the last one is very different. Okay, so this is if you really don't know. So if you're not real sure, you know, you've been doing one thing or the other for the last 20 years, and, you know, this might be the time to reinvent yourself. So you take this interest profiler, and this is where, you know, you basically strongly dislike, unsure, like, strongly like, all these different questions. And you don't really think about if you have the education or training to do it or how much money you would make doing the work. You just think about whether or not you would like it or you not like it. And some of the questions are like I said, build kitchen cabinets, lay brick or tile, develop a new medicine. So if that sounds appealing, but you don't have the education for that, you would still strongly like it. Like, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to save some lives with new medicine, study ways to reduce water pollution. So you just go through all of these and you'll notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors. Well, these are the 6 different things that it's rating you on. And the artistic one is yellow. And I'm not interested in playing a musical instrument or writing books or plays. So that's why at the end I got, you know, all my positions used 0 creativity. And so you go through, there's maybe 60 questions. Oh yeah, there are 60 questions, 0 of 60. And then when you get to the end, you get, like I showed you in the PowerPoint, you get like a score and all these different things. If you already have your score, and let's say you didn't have the time to, you know, keep going down these different avenues, you can just put them in. I'll show you what I did. I kind of did that too quick. You would just go in here to hit enter scores. So once you have your scores, write them down somewhere, do a screenshot, save them, so you don't have to take that 60 question quiz again. And then you just go ahead and enter your scores. And I've entered mine before, so I'm just investigative. I think it was 29. Artistic was either 8 or 10. Social was like 21, enterprising was the highest, and conventional was 19. So then it gives you your little profile. And it tells you if you're really interested in what all that means. What is conventional means you like to be told what to do. Enterprising means you don't like to be told what to do. You know, more or less.
Kim is very high on enterprising.
I was like, what's conventional? It says you work with clear rules and you follow a strong leader. And it's like, oh, that's why I didn't do that well in that one. So anyway, you go through here and it's basically telling you that there's these 5 different options for preparation, because now it's got your interests and it wants to know, you know, is this something that you're looking to get into with you're ready to devote education and, you know, go to law school if needed. So you just kind of pick which one you want. So if I did job zone 1 with no preparation, like an entry-level position, and I hit next, then I've got agricultural equipment operator. You guys thought I was lying about that, but it's true. But the good news is it's in high demand. So, you know, I can just click on this and see like, well, tell me more. Well, like, what I can watch this video and see what agricultural equipment operators do. I can find out more about, you know, the job and the skills and see how much they make. And then I probably just go back to something else because that's not enough for me. So, I go to these other things. And a faller, I just found out, they cut down trees and get out of the way. So if I went all the way to 5, so you can just kind of keep going these different job zones. At 5 is architectural and engineering manager, natural sciences manager. I kind of played around with that a little bit. That did sound very appealing to me. So you watch the video. It's also called these different things: environmental program manager, natural sciences manager. I could totally see myself doing this. You know, I really like the salary. So I was like, let's see if we've got some, you know, local jobs. Let's go to 44070. And it looks like Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring a senior business development manager. You know, it's so this is just another way to get information. And I think it's really cool, but you know, it does take some time. You have to invest some time and navigating through this website. But the more you do, just don't be afraid to click things, you know, just click on everything. So yeah.
I have a question. Have you, as you've been going through this, can you put in your requirements ahead of time and then just what shows up? Like, so let's say, just for fun, you need to make 100,000 a year. So we don't even need to bother with that one that says 37,000. And you want ones that are like on the rise as well, like that sort of thing. Can you put that in ahead of time or no?
Mostly no. You can go to, for the job outlook. Hold on, I try to get to ONET. So you can just look at Bright Outlook, and you can also sort careers by interests, but you can't sort careers by salary. You can just look at, so once you do the Bright Outlook, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see more. Once you do Bright Outlook, it's just going to show you everything starting with A, and there's quite a bit of them. So I don't know that that's really going to get you to what you want to do, because, you know, you're still going to be going through a lot. But yeah, there isn't a way to sort through salary, because again, you got to remember, this is just all the government database, and although it is very helpful for a job seeker, it's not entirely designed just for job seekers. So there is the Bright Outlook that you can do. And then I also liked the career sorted by interests, which I wanted to show you guys. There's realistic, investigative, artistic. So you can do all that. No, that's not. I wanted, where was it? There was one that had a soft skills. It was in here. Well, I lost it. There was one that I really liked that I found in one of my many exploring things where I don't think it was this. No, it wasn't. Where it showed you what you were good at, and then you could find careers based on that. And I don't think it was this. Anyway, are there any other questions?
I just
Somebody
like
want to?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd just
go
like to
ahead,
make
Michael.
one point. You know, when you Kim, would you just go and show where there's jobs, where it shows the jobs available for a particular?
All of them?
Just you know, like the jobs that are available for a particular position in Northeast Ohio, that type of thing. Yeah, find jobs. There you go. And there you go for your area there. So over this particular one, there were no openings.
That one didn't.
That didn't
Hold
work.
on, let me go back to the home.
It says athletes. You should be having a whole bunch for the Browns. They should be having a whole bunch of job openings there.
There you go, Mike. Well, but you know, Denver's not much better. I guess the point I make with
Hold on, I'm going back to ONET. That's another
Okay.
thing, like what you get stuck in my next move, and sometimes it's hard to get back to ONET. So on ONET, it's I think you can just go straight to looking for jobs, can't you? Browse by ONET data. Ooh, there's the skills that I liked and the interests.
Do you want to go to that?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I come back to that. You wanted interest?
Interesting. Yeah, so I just, played around with some cognitive things that it was saying. And in this one, you're browsing by ability. So this is the category is flexibility. So they're saying that biochemists and biophysicists, it's 75 level of importance. So it's interesting that, you can kind of look, if flexibility is a major thing for you, then you can sort by certain things like that. So anyway, I was under idea generation, reasoning abilities, and then went to category flexibility. So I just found it interesting, and I don't know how accurate it is, but that you can sort by abilities and interests like that. Work styles, you can sort by work styles. So fun. I think it's fun. You have to have time. It's not a quick thing, like let's put in a filter and find everything I want. But yeah, give me a job.
Go to do your procurement or your the first example
Supply
that you
chain?
used. What's that?
SEO.
Yeah, supply chain. Do your supply chain like you did before.
Well, okay.
Chain managers. There you go.
Supply chain managers.
Right. And then go to the jobs in the area. Where it was posted. No, not where we showed the jobs that were available.
Oh, that I did training and credentials. I went to here we go. Job openings on the web.
Right. Yeah, so you can see here, there's some relatively new positions there. One of the things, we do not encourage people to use this as your source for all your jobs, right? To only look at this for jobs. What we do encourage people to do is, you can see here where there are employers that are looking for positions in this area. And this is what this is really for, is for you to use that as a networking tool, right? So let's say you want to become a procurement manager, you can network with someone, or try to network into the Flynn Restaurant Group, or the Performance Food Group, or Emerson, or Eaton, Parker, Act Talent, PwC. So you can see a number of different companies and that are hiring for this particular position, and you can use that as a networking source. We don't encourage, one of the things that we don't encourage at Hudson Job Search is to sit at your computer and apply for jobs on your computer all day long. The real way for mid-level professionals and above to get jobs is through networking. If you are right out of school, the chances of you getting a job by just filling out a posting on LinkedIn are much higher than for a mid-level professional. And so this is a great source, though, for you to work on your networking. So that's the only point I wanted to make there, Kim.
Sure. Good.
I have a
Good.
quick question, please.
Go ahead, Lamar. Yep.
Could you, maybe you don't have enough time, but could you share how a veteran would use this?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's really easy. I mean, so you go to next move, or you could actually, it looks like there's a place to do it right there as well. There's a link here for my next move for veterans.
Oh,
So you can
okay.
click on that, or I noticed I was moving too fast, but it does say you can just go right here for veterans. You'd want to put your branch, Navy, Air
Right.
Force, or whatever. So let's say you're in the Navy. I
Right.
don't know what a Master Chief is a thing, isn't it? I think. So you hit go. And
Okay.
then that tells you careers similar to Navy ratings with the title of Master Chief.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, first line supervisors of mechanics, installers, repairers, first line supervisors of productions, industrial
Thank you.
productions, logistics,
Mm-hmm.
project management specialists. So it's basically just showing you the 112 civilian matches to what this position is.
Now, did you pick Navy because of the Army Navy game on Saturday?
No. No, I
I'm-
have an uncle that was some kind of, I think, Master
I'm
Chief.
just
He was the
asking.
highest in the
I could
Navy.
help you if you went to Army.
I would.
Okay, yeah, let's do Army.
Yeah, do
So
that.
what do we put in for Army?
Try Lieutenant Colonel.
Oh,
I'm helping
gosh,
a
I don't
veteran
even know how to
lieutenant colonel.
spell
That's all right.
lieutenant. How do you spell lieutenant? I know there's a lot of.
Lieute.
Yeah, you
Well,
got it.
we'll see what happens.
I think you got it.
Did I? Just there's a
that's
lot of
great.
vowels in that.
Thank you. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Isn't that cool? It's
this-
so easy.
It's a great tool, and even if and sometimes in the military, there's all these numeric job titles, right?
Right.
And you can just pop them in there, and this will give you comparable jobs that are similar to those
Yeah.
titles. So it really is a wonderful tool for military folks return to the civilian.
Mhm.
It's just a great tool for that. So and we want to make sure that people understand that, there's because that is one of the biggest struggles that returning military personnel have, is really figuring out where they fit into the civilian world.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank
So
you.
I'll tell you how I used it recently, and then Michael will take over and give us his closing comments unless anyone else has questions. But I had a client that they own Yoder Barns, which is like they make Amish barns and sheds and things. So he told me that he needed to put a job on his website. And I said, well, just give me the job information. And he says, well, I don't know what to write, and I said, well, what is it? And he said, it's a project manager. And I said, Adam, are you kidding me? Project manager. It's the most general thing. Tell me what a project manager does. And he says, well, they got to go on the projects and make sure that all the supplies are there and the Amish crew shows up. And then they're the ones that are customer facing. So I just went in here and I did I did something like construction project manager. I hit go. I found construction manager. He told me he was looking to pay like 80,000 base with some potential for, incentives. So from here, I was able to just find basically a job description. And, I more or less just put in this job description and posted it on the website, and he thinks I'm, like a superstar, and I know everything about everything. So it was that simple. That's how I've used it.
I'll be
And
coming
I've
back
also
to you.
had
When I talk to veterans, I'll be coming back to you, Kim. Be sure.
okay. Yeah, you've got to be comfortable just poking around. I think this would be something fun to do, like if you're sitting down in the evening and watching a program or something. It could be frustrating, and I know people have gotten frustrated in the past because they're not getting exactly what they want. But this is really, this is where it was. So you can go in here, you can hit custom, and you can make you can make like your own report based on tasks and work styles, and hit go. I don't remember why I wanted to do that, but. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, you had that.
There's a lot of
construction
information.
Managers, yeah, if you didn't have construction managers and you went through that, it would give you some different, some jobs that kind of matched up to that.
just fascinated by this database. All right, Mike, you want to
Oh,
take
no,
over
it's-
and give us the final thoughts?
Okay, well, thank you, Kim. There was a lot of information there. I think if, and Kim's exactly right, you really do need to play with this, and hopefully with her showing you some of the methods that you could go about this, you'll be more comfortable with playing with this, right? As she said to begin with, ONET can be very intimidating at first glance, but now that you've kind of seen how it operates and the 3 different approaches you can take, you don't have to go through all 3. You're going to find yourself in one of those 3 categories. Use a category that makes the most sense for you, and just play with it, and you'll find that it'll be a great resource for you in your job search. So again, thank you, Kim. I think you took something that can be incredibly complicated and made it much more easily to digest. So let me start sharing again. All right, so this, one thing I would like to do is recognize the Hudson Community Foundation. They are one of our sponsors, and they help us with the Pradcos that we offer our clients, and also with the speakers. And again, here was my intro for Kim, but she jumped the gun on me there, so that's
Sorry.
that's right. We've already asked if there's any questions, so we've got that. But again, I think Kim did a great job. Let's give Kim a nice round of applause. I mean, this is not gonna. There we go. Everybody's standing ovation for Kim. Look at that. That's awesome. Good job, Kim. We appreciate it as always. All right. So now, a few things we want to do here this evening before we wrap things up. We're going to make an ask of you, right? There's a couple things we want to do. One, we'd like you to fill out the survey. Second thing is we'd like you to look for Kim's email. Everybody who's participated tonight will get an email. And Lamar, just especially for you, there's going to be a link in there to where you can get your recording of tonight's presentation, and everyone else will as well. So look for that. It has a lot of information on Hudson Job Search, on the presentation, and so forth. So look for that. In addition, one of the things we'd like you to do is to help us